welcome to my YouTube channel. And today's program is a special tribute program to my school, the Castle School, Newbury, because I'm finishing school. And obviously this year, it's not going to be a normal thing. In fact, what I'm going to do is talk about my achievements that I achieved in the last decade. Yes, and the last one will be tremendous, and that will be coming up later. It will, but we're going to start off with the most painful thing I've ever done. Right, let's get started with Fuzzy Logic. You see, a few years ago, we had the dance team called Fuzzy Logic come in and showed us a dance move, and then we were invited to perform at the Corn Exchange. We were at my hometown, and also we practiced and practiced over the last couple of weeks. A bit of a painful problem. It was really one time, really. I don't want to talk about it. And then after that, we rehearsed brilliantly, and then we were ready for the main show. And luckily, I got a man there to help film it. So enjoy the video.
Boleh disering-sering.
Right, we move on to travel training now. Okay, so basically, where to begin? I saw other students learning how to travel independently on buses, and then I walked into my focus teacher's office one day and say, "Hey, I want to do that as well." And the teachers agreed, and pretty much the very hard part was getting somebody on board, really. Well, basically, it was really hard, and then we did it successfully. And first of all, we begin with a staff member coming on with me on the bus. There was only one incident, really. I don't want to talk about it. And basically, I went on the bus, and then the teacher sat with me, and then until we moved to our next step, I went on the bus independently, and my teacher would wait for me at the bus stop. And then after that, I did fully independently. Uh, on my own, no teacher with me. And then after that, I started traveling independently to school, there and back home, really. And then I just decided to walk home sometimes. I do really, and that's it for this topic actually. Right, now we must move on to this. The Castle's Got Talent show. It's a DVD copy that my school made for me. I can't show you obviously because of I'll get in trouble for that. Yeah. So basically, we had a vision for our enterprise project to make a show and raise money, and we had a vision to create a talent show that would electrify the school. Everybody could take part, and we have loads of entries, and I was asked to be the host, and I've got a picture of me here. Uh, well, that show went pretty well. It did really. After that, it did really, and we raised lots and lots of money. It took us like nearly a whole day to count it. It did really, and also oh yeah, right, yeah, yeah, and after that, I was invited to host other shows. I was really including like school performances and being a narrator and all that. So that's it for this topic. Right, now we move on to sport out of school. I've got three separate topics that I like to share, I do really. So we start with one of the best of them all. Well, yes, we start with the London 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games. Yeah, basically, after the summer holiday, I was invited to go and see the London 2012 Paralympic Games, and it was definitely a once in a lifetime thing. It's because the Olympic Games might not come back here in our lifetime, maybe. So basically, I went with my head teacher and one of my old teachers, and some other students as well. But can't say their names anyway. And we went into the Excel Centre in London. We did, and we saw three different events. We saw wheelchair fencing, wheelchair table tennis, and also sitting volleyball, which was the best one of all. It was out of all of them. Well, my dad would love table tennis. He would really. Anyway, then that was a great day. It was really, and it was definitely a once in a lifetime thing. Right, we move on to rugby now. We do really, and a few years ago, my school started a relationship with the London Irish Rugby Club, which is still a part of the Premiership Rugby that they take part in, and the London Irish team, and then basically we did PE lessons with them on tag rugby. We did really, and some do contact rugby. That are very brave. Really, I wasn't. Trust me. Then after that, we got invited to take part in a tag rugby tournament, and we did okay-ish. We did really, and then after that, we got invited to see a Premiership rugby match and see London Irish rugby team in action, and we did get photos of them, but I don't know where they are. And then after that, we got invited to do the opening ceremony for the game, where we were showing live on BT Sport and BT Sport 4K. We were really, and I got a little video to show you.
London Irish, please welcome your team, the Mighty Exiles, London!
Yep, after that, basically, and I found the video on the BT Sport app of the full match and heard in the opening ceremony. When I showed it to the school, they were all very happy and they jumped up and down. They did really. And everybody was, and some students were slightly jealous because they didn't get the chance to come. They didn't really, and so yeah, that was definitely a performance on a national stage. Right, now we move on to the Special Olympics. I was invited by my school to take part in a Special Olympics events. The events are athletics, and I had to compete in like 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4 times 100 meters relay. And I won loads of medals. And unfortunately, I can't show you them. It's because I don't have them with me. But I do have a photo as well. Yep. So I've won loads of medals so far, and I've won 2 gold medals. One of them was in the 100 meters race, and people are actually saying I could be the next Usain Bolt, really. And I hope I do anyway. Usain Bolt is one of my favourites anyway. Then, even though he's not a British guy, but I like him. I do really. He's fast as well. Yeah, I hope I'll be the next Usain Bolt. Yeah, and that's it for the sports topic. Right, now we move on to work experience, and I did loads of different places around my hometown. I did really basically, and we'll get started with some of the classics and leading up to me working permanently at one place. Right, now, first of all, we start off talking about Sainsbury's. We do really. In my hometown, I was offered at my school one day. My work experience teacher came over to me and had a chat with me, and she said, Nathan, you're going to work experience at Sainsbury's, and I was so delighted, and also I was given a proper uniform. Trust me, I was very smart, and I got a picture of me here. Yeah, so basically, I've worked there for a year. I did really around a year, and trust me, I started off stacking the milk until I got better to becoming more independent, and also starting to work on other stuff like toilet rolls, freezer stuff, and also sweets, and also I had to spend a whole day there because my class was away on a residential trip that I didn't want to go to. So trust me, that was like one of the best days of my life. Trust me. And also Sainsbury's did a great year looking after me and also one of my other students. Right, now we move on to Tesco's, and I did work experience at Tesco's for about a year and a bit before I moved on to do something else. And trust me, I did hard work as well there. And I started off at the bakery, I did really there, and trust me, I was stacking out all the lovely pastries and donuts. It made me a bit hungry for a bit, and trust me, that was definitely the most luscious part that I ever looked at. And trust me, and it's also where I did my travel training as well, really, on the buses at the same time that we talked about a few minutes ago. And trust me, after that, I went to full days to having do the toilet rolls as well, and also make sure the suites are nice and tidy. And also, I didn't mention this about travel training earlier. I was allowed to go to McDonald's and have a McDonald's independently on my own. Yep, so that's it for Tesco's. Right, now we move on to Werford Park, and also we begin with one of workspace teachers having a chat with me, and they said we got workspace for you at Werford Park. And trust me, if you don't know what Welford Park is, it's where they filmed the Great British Bake Off on Channel 4. It is really. It's available to stream on demand, and I've got a picture to prove it. Yes, and trust me, it is very pretty during their snowdrop season, and I urge you to try and go there if you can. Anyway, we're back to the workers' bits now. Anyway, I was offered a place, workers' bits placement at their special cafe inside a tent, really, and I was just cleaning the tables, and even my workers' bits teachers liked it, and they joined in as well. They did really, and trust me, looking at the delicious cakes, kind of make my mouth water a bit. It did, I'll be honest. And I did it throughout like a snowdrop season before I head off to do other things. Right then, now we move on to the best work experience of all. I saved for last. I did really, which is Waitrose in my hometown. Shockingly, it was easy to get to because I just had to walk there. I do really. And I was doing loads of shelves. I was really, and I was doing loads of scanning and also delivering collect parcels as well, really. And until one day, I walked over to the manager and I asked, "Is there any jobs available?" And she said yes. And after a short interview, I got the job, and now I work at Waitrose in my hometown. Yeah, so basically nowadays I used to do the shelf stacking, and nowadays I do click and collect packages, and also I work on the tills. Yeah, that was definitely the best work experience of the lot, and that's it for work experience. Right, it's time to say goodbye to the Castle School Newbury, and I thought I'd do a little speech anyway, because of the yes, and I can't do it properly at school because of the untimely pandemic, and uh, and trust me, these things happen, right? Anyway, so I'll read the speech right now. I'm very grateful for all the support that everyone has given me, and I'm not going to miss the endless debate of wrestling is fake. I think it's real. Uh, I, I would like to say thank you to all the teachers, and you'll always be my school. Yeah, and that brings to the end of our programming. I have no idea when I'll be back launching another video, but I do tell you this: roughly next year, I'll be doing a holiday adventure. But a trailer might be released for that in a couple of months or weeks. So trust me, let's hope I get some teeth into some more meat and stuff really wherever I go. Yes, and trust me, and I do say I would like to say thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And well, goodbye.